Hi, Taehyung Lovers. Welcome back to the Taehyung Lovers channel around the world. But this time, don't you dare skip the first few seconds of this video. Because what happened in El Paso, Texas truly made the K-pop world lose its mind. This was not just an ordinary BTS concert. This was not only about a magnificent stage or a sea of army bombs, but about one night that made tens of thousands of ARMY scream hysterically just because of Kim Taehyung's gaze and the moment Jeon Jungkook instantly shattered the emotions of the entire stadium. And what shocked people most, many fans admitted the stadium suddenly felt silent for a few seconds when Kim Taehyung appeared on stage. How could that happen? What really happened on the opening night of the BTS ARIRANG World Tour that made global social media explode within minutes? Why did the clip of Taehyung holding a red microphone become viral across every platform? And why was the moment between Jungkook and Taehyung that night called one of the most emotional stage chemistries in BTS concert history? In today's video, we will discuss how El Paso transformed into the center of a global emotional explosion, how a sea of purple lights filled Sun Bowl Stadium like a living galaxy, how Kim Taehyung's visuals were compared to a main character of a worldwide blockbuster movie, and the intimate moments that made ARMY cry and unable to forget that night until now. We will also talk about Kim Taehyung viral outfit details, Jungkook's soft voice piercing straight into ARMY souls, the concert production quality that international fans called insane, and the reason why the first night of the BTS ARIRANG Tour is considered the beginning of the most monumental era in modern K-pop history. So before we get into the core story that truly shocked the global internet, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell right now. And don't forget to spread this video so the world can always see Kim Taehyung's kindness and how BTS once again proved why they remain an irreplaceable global phenomenon. The night in the city of El Paso. Texas was not just hosting a concert. The city turned into the center of a global emotional explosion when thousands of ARMY filled every corner of Sun Bowl Stadium to witness the opening of the BTS ARIRANG World Tour. The air itself felt like it was vibrating even before the first music started playing. Outside the stadium, long lines of fans had already been visible since morning, carrying light sticks, banners, and huge hopes to witness a night that will be remembered throughout BTS history. Kim Taehyung and Jeon Jungkook truly shook the El Paso stage on the first night of BTS ARIRANG in El Paso, Texas, and ARMY had been waiting for the moment Jungkook and Kim Taehyung stepped onto the stage. ARMY went hysterical witnessing the moment between Jeon Jungkook and Kim Taehyung. When the stadium lights began to dim, the atmosphere changed instantly. A sea of purple lights filled the stands like a giant living galaxy. Thousands of voices merged into one scream that shook the entire stadium. Nobody stayed seated. Every eye focused on a massive stage with giant LED screens glowing bright red, creating an atmosphere that felt hot, wild, and full of mystery. Smoke effects slowly covered the stage area, while the opening music sounded like the signal of a new era beginning. But among all that magnificence, one figure immediately stole the world's attention: Kim Taehyung. His appearance on stage became the moment that made the stadium seem to stop breathing for a few seconds. Kim Taehyung was seen sitting at the edge of the stage with a calm, yet intensely sharp gaze. Purple and red lights reflected dramatically across his face, emphasizing the elegant aura that has always been his trademark. His appearance that night truly looked like the main character of a major blockbuster film. He wore a simple white tank top, combined with black leather jacket accented with bright red details. The jacket hung loosely off one side of the shoulder, giving a relaxed yet powerful and charismatic impression. The large chain necklace around his neck strengthened the concept of a masculine modern rock star. Meanwhile, the red bandana patterned pants brought a rebellious atmosphere that stood out strongly in the middle of the stadium's dark lighting. The red microphone in his hand became a small detail that actually strengthened the entire stage visual. Thin sweat on his face was clearly visible under the lights, showing the human side of a superstar, giving all his energy to the audience that night. His side glance revealed the focus and calmness of a world-class performer who understands how to dominate a stage without needing excessive movement. The atmosphere became far more intimate. Kim Taehyung was seen holding a drink bottle while partially covering his face with glowing red gloves under stage lights. That simple moment became one of the most talked about scenes by fans on social media. There was something incredibly real in that expression. Exhaustion, focus, and at the same time the satisfaction of an artist after delivering a full-energy performance in front of tens of thousands of people. Fans' camera shots successfully captured the tiny details that made the night feel even more emotional. His black hair slightly wet from sweat, the sharp jawline reflecting the lights, and the red ear monitor perfectly matching his costume concept created visuals that felt highly cinematic. It was not an exaggeration when many fans described his appearance that night as a living painting in the middle of a stadium concert. On social media, fan reactions exploded only minutes after photos and videos started spreading. Kim Taehyung's name instantly became one of the most discussed topics. Clips of him sitting while holding the red microphone spread rapidly across platforms, triggering thousands of comments about his charisma and stage aura that fans believed had become even more mature. Many fans highlighted how Kim Taehyung did not need exaggerated movements to capture attention. His presence alone was enough to make the stadium fall silent for a moment before being filled with screams again. That is a power rarely possessed by a performer. The ability to control the emotions of tens of thousands of people with only a gaze and small gestures. The opening night in El Paso, Texas, America also showcased an unbelievably massive concert production quality. Pyrotechnic explosions, precise lighting transitions, and giant screen visuals made every song feel like a new chapter in an epic movie. When fast-tempo songs played, the entire stadium transformed into an ocean of moving lights. But when the tempo slowed down, the atmosphere suddenly became emotional, showing the deep connection between the artists and the fans. Many ARMY who attended admitted that the concert was not just entertainment, but an emotional experience difficult to explain. After such a long wait, seeing BTS standing once again on a huge stage brought genuine emotion. And in the middle of all that overwhelming energy, Kim Taehyung appeared as a symbol of calmness and strength, while Jungkook with his signature soft voice pierced deeply into ARMY souls. The success of the first night in El Paso, Texas has now become a huge signal that the BTS ARIRANG World Tour will become one of the most monumental tours in modern K-pop history. The standard set by this opening concert felt incredibly high, from production scale, stage quality, to the global public response. And when the stadium lights finally began fading at the end of the night, one thing became crystal clear. This concert was not only about music, it was about reunion, emotion, and how an artist like Kim Taehyung could transform one ordinary night into a memory that would continue living in the hearts of millions of people around the world. And finally, that night in El Paso, Texas closed with one fact the world is now beginning to realize: BTS is not finished. And Kim Taehyung once again proved that he is not just an ordinary idol, but a symbol of emotion capable of making tens of thousands of ARMY cry, fall silent, and then scream hysterically all within one night. The moment between Taehyung and Jungkook at the opening of the BTS ARIRANG World Tour has now become a global viral phenomenon, and many fans believe this is only the beginning of something far bigger. Thank you for watching until the very end. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoy content like this. If you don't like it, just skip it, because the Taehyung Lovers channel never forces anyone. But one thing is certain: the world deserves to know how Kim Taehyung kindness, charisma, and strength continue touching the hearts of millions around the globe. What do you think about the moment between Kim Taehyung and Jungkook in El Paso on the first night of the BTS ARIRANG World Tour? Do you think this became one of the most emotional concerts in BTS history? Write your opinions right now in the comment section. Keep following the latest news updates only on Taehyung Lovers. Stay tuned for the newest developments about Kim Taehyung only on the Taehyung Lovers channel. That concludes our meeting today. Good night, stay safe, and see you again in the next phenomenal news update.